Hello there, Namaste. Welcome to the Diplomatic Bench on Daily News in Digital, the program that focuses on meeting various foreign diplomats and the diplomatic missions in Tanzania to discuss various matters concerning the relations between their mission and Tanzania. My name is Sylvester Domasa. I invite you today, and I'll be joined by the High Commissioner of India in Tanzania, Binaya Pradhan. Please welcome.
The first impression when I landed in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, was that of welcome. The people here are quite friendly. People are familiar about India, and I think when you, as an Indian diplomat, come to Dar es Salaam, you are welcomed not only by the people but also by the government. So I have had great experience in last 9 months. I was fortunate that I could present my credentials to Her Excellency the President in the month of August itself. She gave time within 2 weeks of my arrival, and she also set the tone of the bilateral cooperation in terms of her expectations from the relationship. I of course had been guided by my leadership before I came here, so I now have a clear mandate from both the leadership as to what they expect from this relationship during my mission of 3 years. So that has made it easy and now to start the work in my diplomatic mission.
For the past 9 months, how do you weigh relations between Tanzania and India?
I would say that our relationship is on a very solid footing. At a political level, if you see, our leadership, they get along very well with each other from the beginning. So whether it was Mwalimu with his Indian counterparts or the present president with her counterpart, they have very extremely cordial relationship. We have had regular visits at the highest level. Prime Minister of India visited Tanzania in 2016. So now it is the turn of President of Tanzania to visit India, which we are working on, Mama Samia. So in 9 months, I saw that the political relationship has been on a very solid footing. The economic relationship has been growing. Last year, we saw a remarkable growth in our bilateral trade. We saw new commodities being added to our bilateral trade, particularly from your agriculture sector, avocado and pigeon pea. Pigeon pea, of course, has been there for a long time, but avocado is a new addition. And more importantly, for your viewers, I would like to convey that India provides a duty-free market to Tanzanian commodities. Yes, and what it means is that your commodities don't pay any taxes in India, like custom duty. To elaborate it, for example, Tanzanian avocado, we sent the first consignment in January of this month, and last week the first marine consignment, like the sea cargo, arrived in India. And contrast to 30% custom duty which the other countries pay when they export their avocado to India, Tanzanian avocado doesn't pay any custom duty. So you have a competitive advantage in terms of your commodities not paying any custom duty in Indian market.
How is this important?
It is important for Tanzania because your products are very competitive. The other competitors of your avocado, they are paying 30% custom duty. So it's good for your farmers because they can access Indian market quite easily.
Other than Tanzania, any other countries that import avocado in India?
In India, we, if I'm correct, we get it from Latin American countries. We also get it probably from New Zealand. That's what I'm given to understand.
Do they also get this holiday?
No, it's only Tanzania which is getting so far. Basically, it is it is for the partners from least developed countries.
Okay.
So it is a scheme under which we pay duty-free, access to commodities of those partners. So it's not applicable to developed countries. So it's not available for avocado from other competitors.
I also understand the Tanzania airline also launched its route to Mumbai.
Tanzanian Airlines at the moment is flying 2 flights to Mumbai. From this month of May, they are going to increase it to 3 flights a week. We have been requesting them to fly to New Delhi as well, but at the moment they have 3 flights every week to Mumbai.
Okay. Do you think it is something that is remarkable for the partnership?
It certainly helps. When you have a direct flight, it helps in movement of people. It helps in giving confidence to the people who are involved in business, in tourism, because they find it much more convenient to travel between the two countries. So it's definitely a helpful thing.
How informed are the Indian investors about the opportunities in Tanzania?
When I came here in August last year, I suddenly started receiving inquiries from Indian business. Of course, those days, there were COVID restrictions related to travel. So people would generally send queries that we are hearing good things about Tanzania. We are hearing that, the economy is opening up, registration and licensing is getting easier. So would the High Commission confirm to such news that we are hearing in India? And they would also say that, no, we would like to explore investment in certain areas. Can the High Commission put us in touch with the local government here? So I would say that people in India, particularly the business houses, they're positive about the investment atmosphere in your country. I met the head of Tanzania Investment Center in that context. I met the other government officials. I have been getting cooperation in that regard. And let me also mention that our delegations from India, from private sector as well as government sector, they have visited in last 9 months in the areas of pharmaceutical, in health sector, in education sector, in port sector. So we have big investors in the port sector, and we are also talking about small investors, which are small and medium enterprises in the sector of agriculture, health, pharmaceutical. So we have a range of investors now who are showing interest. Some of them have already invested in Tanzania in last few months, and some of them are planning to do invest if their negotiations with the government conclude in the positive note.
From your understanding, do you think there could be some kind of misconceptions that are affecting the relations and the investment between India and Tanzania, investment and trade?
I would say there is no misconception or misinformation, but I think more interaction would certainly help. For example, we are having now regular delegations from Indian chambers of commerce. Recently, we had a 20-member delegation from Indian power sector. This year, we are having several delegations from Indian prominent chambers of commerce in different sectors. Like, for example, we will have a separate delegation for pharmaceutical sector, separate one for ceramics, separate one for health sector. So we are bringing different investment groups. Recently, I must congratulate and appreciate the effort of Tanzanian Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture. I met the president of TCCIA, Mr. Paul Koi, and he has opened a separate desk for facilitating India business. So he is reciprocating on his part.
One of the few investors I met from India is in Dodoma, actually into the ceramic production factory, and they are doing something quite remarkable. And I don't know if there are more such kind of investors in Tanzania that actually your office is working on to bring in or to facilitate the investors from Tanzania also look into the market in India.
As you would appreciate, our main role is to attract investment from Tanzania to India. Yes. Right? We have small investment so far from Tanzania to India, but that is our effort to also promote the opportunities which are available in India. And I personally see that in sectors like agriculture, horticulture, in small and medium enterprises sector in India, there is good opportunity for Tanzanian investors to go and invest. And investment, as you know, is always a win-win situation. So when you invest in a country, you benefit from that. When you receive investment from another country, you also benefit from that. But as I said, we are working on both the direction. We are working for Indian investment in Tanzania. We are also working for Tanzanian investment in India. So we have excelled in ceramic production. I'm sure, like I said before, you gave me the example of ceramic, that we are working on a ceramic delegation to come to Tanzania, because we see opportunities there. We think, we have opportunities in Tanzanian market to bring the best quality products from India in ceramic.
About the same product, let's talk about the medical product part of it. India actually did, I don't know, something that is outstanding work in terms of promoting its medical tourism, if I would say so. The government has been working around to make sure it also improve its medical systems. Do you have any recommendation to Tanzania authorities?
I would say health sector cooperation or medical sector cooperation is one of the strongest areas of cooperation between our two countries. It has been, there for last many years. As you see, Indian pharmaceutical products are quite popular here. They are the best quality medicine at the most cheapest cost. Similarly, India remains a major destination for medical treatment. We call it medical tourism. And I think the reason is again the combination of quality and cost. So at the moment, you see every week we are having teams of Indian doctors coming to Dar es Salaam, coming to other parts of Tanzania to set up medical camps. In long term, we are looking for them to invest in certain sector, so that you already have some Indian investment here. Like you see high-tech hospital, you see many doctors who are trained in India. But in long term, I think in your ambition to become a hub for medical tourism in Tanzania, India can play a positive role, a major role in terms of also investing in Tanzania in health sector. Yeah.
And now you are working on a delegation for the Tanzania side to visit India. How do you see this coming?
I would say it's long overdue. The Prime Minister of India came to Tanzania in 2016. For 6 years, there has been no high-level visit. It's already long overdue. The friendly relationship that we share between our two countries, has always seen high-level visits at regular interval. So I would say probably this is the first time we are having a huge gap of 6 years. I would say primarily because of COVID, that it has not been able to take place. So now since the COVID restrictions are are getting eased out, and now since the normal diplomatic activities, the travel of leaders are getting resumed, I think it's now time that we should work on that.
What about the commissions?
We have, I'm happy that you asked about the commissions, because commissions provide an institutional framework to a relationship. So between our two countries, we have several commissions. The most well known is the Joint Commission, which you call Joint Permanent Commission. So that is chaired at the level of foreign ministers. The last one was held in New Delhi in 2018, December of 2018. So I think because of COVID, we could not do it subsequently. The next one is to be hosted by Tanzania in Dar es Salaam. So, but without even the commission, the two foreign ministers met in New York last year on the margins of UN General Assembly. Foreign Minister of Tanzania and Foreign Minister of India, they had an excellent meeting. They spent time together to discuss about the way forward. But we are looking forward to, holding the joint commission whenever, the two foreign ministers are free in Dar es Salaam.
India is the largest exporter of Tanzanite across the globe. There are some diplomatic, approaches that the government of Tanzania has been putting in place to make sure that Tanzania also benefit from its mineral resources. But in the end, it has affected a lot of factories from India that actually work into processing this mineral. What are the current approach that India is working through to make sure that, those 4 or 5 million people who are directly involved into processing these minerals. Of course, they have something to do.
I would say that every country has its right to make economic decisions which are good for the country. So I don't think it's a big problem. We in India, we are more like the global center for polishing precious stones. So whether it's diamond coming from all over the world, or it's ruby or any other precious stone from all parts of the world, they generally come to India for processing, because the Indian artisans over centuries now have developed expertise to make the best cuts in precious stones. So I think the processing houses in India, they are doing it for the whole world. But I think if the government has decided that the value addition should be done in Tanzania itself, and rather than sending unprocessed stone, we should export the processed value added Tanzanite from here, we welcome the decision. In fact, last year when the two foreign ministers met in New York, we discussed that India should work with Tanzania in assisting in terms of developing the capabilities here for processing. Yes, and in fact we are discussing, so we are more than willing to work with Tanzania in that manner to bring technology or investment in Tanzanite processing sector here. But I would say this is not even a minor irritant in our relationship. We understand the decision, and we are rather willing to work with the government in helping them to do it.
Do you think it's something that it could be beneficial to both parties?
Yes, certainly it's going to be beneficial to Tanzania, but India is a major transshipment point for any precious stone of the world, so even if it's processed here, I'm sure it's going to go to India for further value addition in terms of converting it to jewelry. You talk about the global brands, the jewelry brands. Now they get it, kind of they have their craftsmen, they use Indian craftsmen to make their jewelry in India. So I think it's not going to happen at the cost of India. It's going to be a win-win situation in any case, whether you process it here and send it to India, or you send unprocessed Tanzanite to India. So I think Tanzanite is a good sector where we had cooperation. We can have further cooperation even in the new framework.
Thank you so much for listening and following up on the Daily News Digital Diplomatic Bench. This is Sylvester Domasa, and today we are discussing so much with the High Commission of India and Tanzania. We have learned more on the plan from the India to assist the Tanzania in the area of expertise in processing the Tanzanite gemstone, but also the demand of the Tanzania airline to triple its flight from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam to India, and of course to open new routes to Delhi. I thank you so much for listening and following up. Please stay tuned for other programs similar to this on the Daily News.